Tacitril. It really is an absolute wonder drug that finally turned my life around so much for the better. Now I know when to keep to good silence instead of shooting off my stupid mouth once again. No more do I suffer the after effects of unreasoned outbursts that I could not even control. I no longer bore and anger my coworkers with my irrelevant ramblings at their big meetings. I can serenely sit back as others go way overboard, far off the deep end, and never shut up. Tacitril has taught me to say so much more simply by talking far, far less. I even started hearing a lot of the other randomly excess noise with which we fill the world. Now I realize that silence is no frightening void that I must forever try to fill with verbal spam. A daily dose, and I've stopped yelling at those hateful, cosmetically enhanced anchor people. I lost the urge to keep making up lame questions, vainly trying to assure myself that I'm smart. It's really been helpful to silently let others trail off alone into the weeds of foolish nonsense. Merely remaining quiet has become a great weapon which creates confusion in my so-called superiors. I simply don't have that fool need to recap, rehash, and reiterate like I used to anymore. I just let the kids and the wife talk themselves off into stammered, evaporating mumbles. Yes, I nod my head in agreement, but not in agreement, merely acknowledging that I heard what my boss said. Every meeting reinforces my stillness as I filter their compulsive but empty chatter. Talking in circles around the point just to hear my own voice is no longer satisfying for me. It's easy to forego pointless sidetracking of important discussions just to show that I am present. I can detect their BS more quickly now, since I'm not always only thinking about what I will say next. Sometimes my reticence even provokes a satisfying rise from those who simply cannot be still. Now I find my silence as full of meaning as anything I could have ever hoped to blurt out. I find it as pointless to try and have the last word as to talk over our incessant and vapid noise. I forgot what it's like to lay awake just wishing that I could have kept my stupid mouth shut. I'm satisfied just hearing the movers and the shakers hanging themselves out to dry again. I cut out the preambles, the redundant flourishes, and repetitive conclusions from my speech. I respond to their frothy clarion calls to corporate boldness with a politely expectant silence. It's easy to deny them the pleasure of empty, long-winded responses simply by withholding dumb questions. No longer do I erupt irrationally because my blood pressure is too high and my heart rate too fast. Nowadays, I'm far more likely to think, I'm glad I didn't say that, than I wish I'd said that. I lost the sorry need to bother, to try and sell others scripted sound bites via my own constant repetition. Happily, I no longer bother attempting to talk over those who have interrupted me once again. No more parroting sports stats, movie lines, advertising slogans, or political catchphrases for me. Don't sarcastically backsass cops until they finally just decide to write me up real good. Politely ask the telemarketers to wait and leave them on hold instead of yelling and blustering. Sure, I'm still angry, insecure, confused, scared, and nervous, but I don't have to broadcast it. I have learned that silence really is a very simple, yet very powerful, and totally unlimited blessing.